Well, hello everyone. Have a new product which I'd like to show you today. Oddly enough, it's not a sanding product. It's also not a cutting product either. What I've been doing, I've been kind of experimenting. Like you and I, we will use lots of fillers of various types. My go-to filler pretty for decades was good old Milliput. I've probably been using this stuff since I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old or thereabouts. Still does the job. You know, it's a great product. I've been experimenting with a few others, and I've had a look around and really to assess, I guess, what the marketplace looks like and how people are innovating. You'll hear that word a lot across these videos. I was trying to look for something that's an innovation. Apart from good old Milliput, yeah, there are a few others out there. I've been sort of playing around with this stuff from AK and one from Deluxe as well, and they all pretty much do the same kind of thing. You know, they're very good at what they do, and I have absolutely no problems with them whatsoever. What I've been trying to find is, I guess, an alternative, or in some situations, would it be very useful to have a faster acting filler, and also can you use filler as a glue, which is something I kind of tripped over by mistake. What I have been finding is that UV resin can be very versatile. I came to the table with UV resin probably as you did. Is it used for dioramas, or when you're trying to do some kind of water-based effect in your models? Excuse me. But I sort of tripped over it as also a filler and also as a glue. If any of you have seen across my YouTube channel the video of the James Bond Little Nelly, you'll see that the model actually sits on a metal post. Now I secured that using UV resin, basically as a glue, because I wanted to get in a certain position. I didn't want to wait. Excuse me. I didn't want to wait for Milliput to go off. Also, super glue wasn't kind of cutting it for me either. So I thought, well, let's try some UV resin. So I squirted some UV resin on the end, put the model on, blasted it with a torch, and fantastic results, because it goes off in literally 5 or 10 seconds, and it is absolutely rock solid. So since then, I've been experimenting. I've been looking around for various kinds of UV resin. The one I'm using at the moment is this one. That's the one I used to actually connect the pole to the James Bond Little Nelly, and it works fantastically well. Put it where you need it to go to stick something, zap it with the UV torch, and it's solid. Interestingly, this kind of material also goes off, and when it does go off, you can sand it. You can use it kind of as if it was normal filler. I've painted this stuff, I've drilled it, I've sanded it, I've ground it with one of these guys, without any problems at all. And as luck would have it, I was looking around in fact on the website of one of my suppliers, Green Stuff World, which all of you probably know. I'm sure you bought some of their stuff, and they have a new, quite interesting product. In the UV range. They do sell this kind of stuff, of course, absolutely, of course they do. But they sell a UV Putty, which is what I want to show you today. Now, UV Putty, what's that? Well, this is the box it comes in, and it's kind of what it says on the tin, literally, that it is a putty material that is more sort of viscous. It's more I guess it's more useful for filling than this stuff, because obviously that's a liquid. What I quite liked is I've been using this stuff for 2 or 3 weeks, and what I liked is the fact that I can manipulate it as a filler to build up some any kind of texture, that kind of thing. And when I'm happy, zap it with a torch and it's solid, and then I can continue to work it with something like a drill or a sanding machine or whatever I need to do with it. And again, it takes paint, it takes any kind of covering very well. So let's get it out of the box, and I'll kind of show you how this actually works in sort of practice, because it's could be something that is quite useful, for you guys. So it comes in a metal tin to keep the old UV out of it, to keep it from going off. I say it comes in a tin. When I first unscrewed it, I thought it's Vaseline. It looks just like Vaseline. It has that kind of consistency about it. In fact, let me get one of my stirrers, and I can kind of show you the consistency. So it's, it is very much like a sort of Vaseline-y kind of texture. That's how I'd kind of describe it to you guys, because that's kind of really what it sort of looks like. Now, what's interesting about this kind of thing is it's very easy to manipulate because of the consistency. It's not a liquid. You can get that into nooks and crannies. You can manipulate it to your heart's content. I've even added a little bit of water to this stuff, just to get the consistency a little bit more runny, just to get it into some areas, and that works fine. It does not affect the UV properties. Let me put that down for a second, and let me just bring over a model part. Again, one of my good old sand speeders and all the rest of it. In fact, no, it's not a sand speeder. What's that? That's off a that's off one of my Star Wars kits. Anyway, let me let me fill that gap there. Let me put some of this material into that gap. Let me just do that, so you can kind of see how this material actually spreads. So, for instance, if that was a very large gap in your model, you can kind of see how that would manipulate very easily. You can put that in as thick as you want, get it manipulated to just the consistency that you're looking for. So let's assume you've done the filling, you're quite happy with that. It's absolutely solid for you've done what you need to do, just as you would with Milliput or whatever your go-to filler is. Okay, so I'll stop there now. So let's assume that's finished. That's how you want to do that. Now, to zap that, you need a UV torch. Now, what I've been doing is, again, testing UV torches. I've had a few off a certain online store beginning with A to test, but as luck would have it, good old Display have beat me to it. They have a UV torch which I want to show you now. So, UV torches. Now, the interesting thing with Display, you think torch is a torch, and you're absolutely right. And this one is interesting in that it's rechargeable. You don't have to hunt around for batteries with this one. Again, it's USB charging, the classic red cable from Display. Let me just show you the torch. I mean, it's again made out of their metal construction, very well made. It feels like that's going to be robust for several years. Interesting end is over here. That's where you'll find the USB charging. In fact, there's two types, and that's the on-off switch, which that covers in quite nicely. So that's the torch. What I'm going to be doing is, what I'll do is I will sell the UV putty and a torch together as a bundle. You'll also be able to buy the putty separately and also the torches separately, just in case you already have this and you want a torch, or you want this and you want this, but you don't have a decent UV torch, for instance. So there'll be various ways you can get this kit. So let's switch the torch on, and there it is. And you get a couple of intensities and also a flasher. I'm not really sure why it flashes, but there you go. Let's switch it back to its full intensity. So let's get that actually onto the actual resin itself. If I angle this like that, it's a bit difficult to sort of see under the quite strong lights I've got on the video camera. But what they're saying is about 10 seconds or thereabouts. In fact, it says 15 seconds on the on the pot, but let's give it the 15, and then we'll see what actually happens. So I tested this over the last couple of weeks, and it normally needs literally just 5 or 10 seconds, and this stuff is rock hard. So let's stop there. Let me just switch the torch off. I'll put that down there. Now, has that cured? Solid as a rock. In fact, I'll bring that a bit closer to the camera, and I'll try and scrape that, and yeah, that UV putty has filled that gap, and it's rock hard. Now that is absolutely solid. And as I said, if you wanted to, let me grab a file. There you go. Let me grab a file, and if you really wanted to, you could go at this stuff and absolutely file that down, just as if it was milliput or wherever the filler that you quite like, and you can keep on going until you're absolutely happy. But the point is, it fills it, and it's absolutely solid with literally just 5 to 10 seconds zap with a UV lamp. So I've been kind of using this a lot instead of mixing up milliput, which is a little bit messy. It takes several hours to go off. I know you can zap it with a hairdryer to make it a bit quicker, but I tend to leave it to hairdry. The other putties, again, they take quite a long time to set off. So it's one of those. It's kind of it certainly saves some time. It certainly saves a lot of hassle with some of the putties. So that's UV. That's a UV putty, which I came across on Green Stuff. As I said, I've been using this for a couple of weeks to fill certain issues with some of the kits I've been doing. I would think with scratch building as well, this might be very useful if you need to fill a gap or make some kind of modification. I can see this being very useful as well. I like the consistency. That's the kicker with this one. I think that's the big thing. You can certainly water it down a little bit. You can put it on with a brush. You can put it on with, as I said, with any kind of implement which you normally use to smooth out your putties. So that's the ultraviolet putty. I think it could be very interesting for some applications. Absolutely. As I said, it will be on the store on its own. It'll be on the store together with the torch. The torch will also be on its own as well if you guys wanted to get hold of one of the display torches. But that's the ultraviolet putty from Green Stuff. That should be on the store as you watch this. As always, any questions, any queries, do come back to me.